Okay, so this is the last part of my story. It's taken me a long time because I'm going to just admit I'm vain, and the only day I feel like I will get in front of a camera is Sunday, because I actually get dressed and put makeup on and stuff. And every time I get home from church, it's like 3 o'clock, and then I'm hungry, and then all of a sudden it's dark. So I was like, darn it, I missed another chance. But today it's still light outside, and I thought I'd start off by showing you some pictures of me during this time in my life that I've been telling you my story. Because my scanner's broken, I'm just going to hold these photos up, and I don't know how they're going to turn out. This is me when I was a baby. 4 months old, it says. This is me when I was like 3 and lived, across the street from Susanna, who taught me about Jesus and loved me so much. This is me when I was about 6, maybe. And I'm probably 9 in this picture. I don't know how well you could see this. But soon after, when I had my little experience with the kids laughing because I didn't know whose Last Supper it was. Then I'm going to jump ahead. This is me in high school, sophomore year, so I was 15. Still had my braces. Painting scenery. And as it turns out, this art teacher of mine, she's Mormon, and I didn't know it when I was in her class. And this is a group shot, just so you'll appreciate. This is me where my thumb finger is, that's me. And see how short my shorts are? My pockets are sticking out the bottom. That's the way I used to dress. This is me at Young Life Camp. Okay. This is me in the marching band, probably my junior year. And then I told you, this is me, I'm pretty sure, because this is my cousin's house. And they lived in Florida, so this had to be the time I was visiting, and my cousin Star said I had to go to some other school than Miami University. So this is right, like the week before I heard my first missionary discussion. So those are to put into perspective. So I stopped my story I got cut off about where the missionaries were starting to teach me. And my family, I didn't want to invite my parents, and my sister quit coming. So I was having missionary discussions probably twice a week, maybe. And then I would go to church, and I went to church. The first week I went to church, my sister and I drove down. It took like half an hour to get there. It was in a different town, Hamilton. She had to leave for some reason. I can't remember why. But some people who lived in Oxford said they'd give me a ride home. And so on the way home, and it was Sister Richards had this great big van, and she always gave everybody a ride. And in the car was this couple of college kids from Miami University, and it was Steve and Jeanette. I think that was their names. And Jeanette mentioned on the way home that she had been baptized on her birthday. And I thought, oh, that's cool. Maybe, see, I was 16. And I thought, okay, my 17th birthday is a little over a month away. And I know on my 18th birthday, so I got it in my head that day that I was going to get baptized on my 18th birthday. So I was going to church on Sunday. I was going to youth activities on the middle of the week, some evening like Wednesday or something like that. And the missionaries were coming over like twice a week. And I remember the first time Sister Richards came to pick me up for the youth thing. I came out and she said, oh, you have to wear a dress. So she sent me back in, and I changed my clothes. And then I came out, and she goes, don't you have anything a little longer than that mini skirt? I'm like, anyway, finally, I don't know what I did. I really didn't have anything but really short skirts. So I don't know how far along we were. It wasn't that much longer that the missionaries said, we'd like to invite you to a baptism. And I go, oh, really? Whose? And they go, yours. On the 26th. And it was like a week and a half or 2 weeks away. And I was like, what? And they go, well, just think about it. And when we come back next time, you can tell us what you decided. And I was like, I mean, we think we can have all your lessons done and the interviews done in that. So just you decide if that's what you want to do. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was shooting for my 18th birthday and I wasn't even 17 yet. And that, I don't know, it kind of freaked me out. And I had this circular discussion that just went round and round and round. And I'd think about it, and I was really confronted by how soon it was. And I go, man, that's too soon. And then I'd say, but you're going to get baptized someday. I go, well, yeah, but that's too soon. But you're going to be baptized someday, right? Well, yeah, but that's too soon. Why? Well, I was thinking my 18th birthday, and this is too soon. But you're going to be baptized, right? Well, yes. You've already made up your mind. Yes. So it's just a matter of when. Yes. And it's too soon. But you're going to be baptized. Yes. What reason do you have to say no? Well, it's just too soon. So this is just went around all the next few days until they came back. And I had not decided. When they came back, they said, so have you made your decision? And will you be baptized on July 26th? And I was like, yes. I really just had no reason besides that it was sooner than I was thinking it was going to be, which didn't seem like a very good argument. So I thought, well, they think I'm ready. So, okay, all right. So let's go for it, why delay? And so we had the rest of the lessons. These missionaries they weren't real personable. They stuck right to the lesson. They arrived, we sat down, we had a prayer, they started the lesson, they finished, we had a prayer, and then they left, made an appointment for the next, gave me some assignments, and I never once even offered them a glass of water. And this was August in Ohio, and it's pretty hot. And I didn't know hardly anything about them personally. They didn't share a lot of their, where they were from and their families and what they were studying in school and, what their plans were for the future or anything like that. Subsequent to that, I always became really good friends with all the missionaries and knew a lot about them, their personal lives. And so this was kind of odd. But the one thing that I knew about these young men, and they were older than me, was that when they taught me something, they believed it and they lived it. And they looked me straight in the eye and taught me about chastity. They looked me straight in the eye and taught me about the word of wisdom and not drinking and smoking, and they looked me straight in the eye and talked about tithing. I knew that these missionaries lived the things they were teaching me. And I thought, well, they're living examples of these principles they're teaching. And even though they were really different from the way I'd lived and the things I'd been taught and people around me, I thought, okay, I've been wanting to know how to follow Christ, and okay, if that's what I'm supposed to do, I'll do it. And I don't remember thinking about anything that they said that wow, I'm not doing that. So we got through the lessons and the interviews, and they made all the arrangements. And it was a Saturday afternoon that I was baptized. And that day, there was an 8-year-old girl who was also being baptized in the LDS Church, in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Children are baptized at the age of 8. That's the first chance they can. You don't baptize people before they're 8 years old. And so most kids who are raised in the church are baptized very soon after their 8th birthday. And this little girl was like that. And they just combined our baptisms into one service. And someone came to the baptism who I knew that she was important to the youth. All the youth knew her and loved her, and she worked with the youth. I didn't quite understand how. Well, she was the seminary teacher, and every morning, every school day, they met with her, and she taught them. And she was highly respected and loved. And and I knew that about her, but I didn't know her very well. And she saw me, and she goes, "Are you getting baptized today?" And I said, "Uh-huh." And she said, "How long have you been investigating the church?" And I said, "About a month." And she said, "Oh, that's too soon. That's just too soon. Statistically, people who don't take enough time before they join the church to really understand it don't stick with it." And that was a little disconcerting, to have someone that everyone thought was really important and loved and knew the youth, and to say at my baptism. But she said it, and she meant it. And frankly, she was right. She was accurate in what she said about statistically people who just join the church really quick without thinking about it, don't have a tendency not to stick with it. And I was a little disturbed by it, but oh well, I was getting baptized and I did.